Okay, for this project you're going to need some foil. You're going to need your creative paper clay, of course, and these come in two sizes, 16 ounces and 8 ounces. The 8 ounce pack will do for this project. You don't need to get the 16 ounce. You're going to need some form of rubber stamp just to add patterns to the clay. This is 3 inches of wire. We're going to use this to make the hook. Just regular craft wire is fine. This is just to smooth the clay. If you don't have any sculpting tools, something like this works very nicely. And we're going to need the pliers to manipulate the wire. So let's begin. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is try and get a heart shape. Doesn't have to be a perfect heart. I actually prefer when they're not perfect. So you're just going to keep molding like that. Add more foil as needed to get this heart shape. You can go as big or as small as you like. That's up to you. And you can kind of manipulate it a bit also if you want to give it a slight curve like that, or I'm happy with it like that. I don't want to go much bigger. So I'm just going to move this foil out the way. And I'm going to grab my clay. We only take out as much as we need. I'm going to go ahead and add a little water to this. You can also add some diluted white glue if you want to be safe, but it normally sticks to foil quite fine. Just make sure that when you're sculpting, you just press down like that. So begin to add your clay until it's completely covered. When it's completely covered, you can go back and add in some areas and or take off in other areas. It depends how it looks and what the look is you are going for. So let me just finish adding this clay, and then in the next section I will show you how to smooth off the clay. Now we're completely covered, we can smooth the clay. To do that, just dip your finger in water and gently rub. You can also use your spoon, that also smooths it nicely. And of course your sculpting tools. Sculpting tools are great when you reach these, little hard to reach areas. But if you don't have one, a paintbrush could also reach in there. I suggest you dedicate a paintbrush to working with clay. An old flat brush is great for that. So you're going to come across areas like this that need just a tad bit more clay where the foil is showing through. Let's go ahead and cover that. This is actually glitter or something. That bit right there that was left on my table. It's very hard to get rid of. Alright, so just continue until it's as smooth as you like it. I don't want it too smooth. I like to embrace the texture. I think it gives your piece more character. Okay, flip it over and do this side now. I'm just going to use a spoon so it goes a bit faster. Okay, great. Before we go any further with the smoothing, I just want to add this. Fold it in half. Roughly, I mean, not a complete fold, till it's like that. Actually, I don't want it that tight. And just turn up the edges. Use your tool to just make an indentation. Now finally, add texture. Now our sculpture is dry. I'm going to give it a coat of black gesso. I'm using black gesso because I'm going to use mica powder to decorate it. So it will be like super shiny. The black will make the color richer of the mica powder. If you don't have black gesso, just go ahead and use some black acrylic paint. So give it a quick coat of gesso. Make sure you get down in all of those little grooves. You might need to add a little water to make it a little runnier so it gets down in there, because that will add dimension to our piece when we add the mica powder. Once you have this fully covered with the gesso, go ahead and set it aside to dry. I find that putting it under a fan works great. And it has to be 100% dry before you can move on and add your mica powder. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and I will see you back in a minute. Okay, now this is dry. We are going to add our mica powder. This is Pearl-Ex and it's Super Rosette. A little goes a long way. So I'm just going to go ahead. I have a makeup sponge here, and I'm going to go over lightly. As you can see, the color shows up really, really nice on the black. If you want it brighter, you just add more. It's definitely an unusual finish. Most Valentine's hearts are bright red and stuff, so I said, hey, why not? Let's try something different with mica powders. So we start off with this one. If it's not bright enough or you want to add something else, you can go ahead and add it. It's just another way you can use mica powder. I am liking it. I might actually add some, I don't know if I have a purple. I'm going to look because I think that would complement this quite nicely. I have some here, so I'm just using that to do the back. I'm going to see if I have a purple because I think that would look nice also. I do have a light purple. This is called Misty Lavender. Well, let's add a little bit of that to the mix and see what happens. I'm liking that. When you're happy with how it looks, go ahead and just give it a spray with a spray varnish. I would use a gloss varnish on this. I don't usually use gloss, but because of the sheen of the mica powder, if you want to maintain that, a gloss varnish would really bring out that sheen. And then you can just, when that's dry, we can add some ribbon, raffia, whatever you like. And your heart will be ready for Valentine's Day. It's a great ornament for the house. It's a great project to do with kids too. It's not that difficult. They can manage it too. Or a group of friends at a craft party. You can use different rubber stamps or different texture tools and come up with some fabulous stamps. Right, I think that's good enough for me. I am liking how that looks. Let's see if we can zoom in on it here and see. There we go, you can see all the shimmer everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and put away my mica powder and take this outside and spray it. And I'll be back in time to add the ribbon. I went ahead and gave it a coat of gloss varnish, and I'm just going to add a little bit more of this color, the Super Russet, because the purple kind of took over. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush this on it, and then I will spray it once again, and then we will be all done with this part and just need to add our ribbons or raffia beads, whatever you're decorating it with. Let's see if I can. The light is really reflecting a lot, so it's hard to see. Let me see if I can turn that down a bit. There you can see the different colors showing through. I like the variations in the color. I just add a little to the back and then I'm all done. I'll spray it with the varnish, hang it up to dry, and then find my ribbons. Okay, to finish off your heart, we're just gonna make a raffia bow and just glue it on with our glue guns. So go ahead and tie your raffia. Just have a few strands together. And then we're just going to stick it right there. So trim off any excess. And then just use your glue gun, or you can use modeling paste if you prefer. Glue gun is fine for this for me, and I'm just going to stick that on there like that. Just press it down till it dries. And then just kind of, you know, fluff up your bow a bit and add in the extra glue where needed. And that's it. Your Valentine's heart is now complete.